Buenos Dias Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict, right? And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, ooh, I'm scared. Two of the most notorious dropout gang members in the historia, in the history of Chicanoism, of Southernism, Northernism, a whole bunch of isms. Word of the day or phrase, isms, right? Now, trip out in a minuto on a direct fashion. I'm going to get right to it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about these two individuals, two of the most notorious dropouts from organizations, gangs. Now, everybody knows these individuals by face, by cara, by máscara, by whatever the fuck you want to call it, and most by boca, right? Because they like to talk a lot. What we have is one individual from down sur, down in Southern California, as well as one up north in Northern California. Now, be advised, a parental advisory right now, right off the top, bang, bang, and in that fashion. Neither one of these guys represents that perspective area. Neither one of these guys represents north or south. These vatos represent themselves, and that's the reason why they are in the position that they are in right now. And that's the reason why everyone knows their máscara, because of what they've said, they've done, their actions, how they've acted over the years have dictated the programa, right? Now, quietly as is kept, at the end of the day, I will tell you, do I respect these guys? Right? I don't respect some of the get downs, but I don't disrespect them either. Well, I guess I just did. Spensa la tira. But trip out. Let's talk about Rene Boxer Enriquez. Of course, a veterano from Artesia, down in Los, down in the LA area. This vato achieved a lot of achievements within the gang life. He started from a youngster and gravitated from a known gang member into prison. From prison, he became part of a certain organization and was very notorious at one point in time. Vato has multiple bodies on his rap sheet. Vato has multiple pegadas, multiple stabbings, a whole lot of he said, she said type shit. Also, quietly as it's kept, from what I hear through the grapevine, I can't call it like an alcoholic, some funny style cases as well. Of course, those have never been founded. I've never laid eyes on papeles. I'm just saying the word on the curb, right? But that's neither here nor there. Where this vato got real notorious outside of the gang underworld is he started to become known as a defector. Primarily the number one, or I'd say number two next to Mundo, defector of La M, right? A very highly respected organization from down south that I don't even know if it exists, but some say it does. I say I don't know. It is what it is. We all know what's up. Trip out. This vato decided to defect for one reason or another. Now, he's going to tell his story about Sasuke. I felt like, it was time to hang it up, or this or that, or whatever the case may be. Irregardless of that, he went through a debriefing process, okay? Now, dropouts have to go through a debriefing process. Now, it can be broke down like this. Debriefing means that you give all the game on your gang, all the game on your organization. Who's in position, who's in command, who's doing what's happening on the calles, what's happening within that prison, behind those prison walls. Anything that helps law enforcement to crack down on that said particular organization or gang. Okay, this vato decided that for no other reason, for the benefit of himself, to try to get out back to them calles, to make his own life, that he was going to defect, but as well as defect, debrief. Now, what makes him so notorious in that, was his reputation. This vato had a solid reputation for many, many years. Spent a lot of time back there in them shoes, programming, was running things, was running his little piece of the pie, was doing his thing, and has been known to be on tape, man, as one of the organizers, one of the main men at one point in time. Now, I don't know the whole intricacies and the motherfucking details into exactly what this vato was doing. I just know from what we've all heard or watched on YouTube, he was one of the men. Right? He was a man amongst men. But Trip, like I said, something changed his heart. Something changed his mentality. Something changed. Hey, it was cold that night. I can't call it. And at the end of the day, he was debrief bound, right? He decided to check in. I don't know if he faked a heart attack. I don't know if he started having convulsions. Whatever the case may be, at the end of that fucking particular day, he ended up in front of a sergeant, a lieutenant, oh my, and a capitan. And he decided to spill his guts. Now, that's what makes him so notorious of a DO, a dropout. Okay, now, I myself am a non-active gang member. Many of you will say, oh, you're a DO too. Gunner, how can you be speaking if you're a DO2? I ain't none of that because I was never part of that organization, so I can never drop out of something I never dropped into. But that's another story. You know me, I know you. Maybe I don't know you, and maybe you don't know me. Bang, bang. But trip out, we're speaking on Renee fucking Barboso Boxer. So this Vato, right, decides to go into debriefing and became notorious on YouTube, became a viral sensation, became somebody because of the intelligence he spoke with. Now, when people think gang members, they think underachievers, sometimes overachievers in the gang life. People that are notorious, murderous killers that don't have a care in this world and have no intelligence. But what they don't seem to realize is a lot of these vatos are fucking self-fed with books, educational tactics, essays, things of that nature to get that mind going. And a lot of these vatos are self-taught and their intelligence is very up to par and even sometimes past college level. Now, this vato spoke with intelligence, very much poised, very humble in his speakings, his willings and dealings. He knew the ins and outs and everything that was going on within that organization. Of course, being part of that organization for 30, 40 plus years, Avato's going to know a lot, seen a lot, nothing make me think twice, try to real hard. But you know, Boxer, he ain't nothing nice, right? He did what he had to do, okay, or what he felt he had to do. So he gave up the game. But I thought when I first seen him, what stood out to me was just the intelligence he spoke with. He used words that I never even heard of, and I know a little bit, right? I'm a nocturnal creature, you know, ambiguous in nature. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker, is he talking about a fucking lizard or something? I didn't know what he was speaking on, but after putting it in layman's terms, I realized he was telling. That's just what he was doing. He was debriefing. And like I said, it's a process that all dropouts must go through. It doesn't make them less of a man. It just means at that point in time, that's what they chose to do. Okay, respects are given to whoever was in the gang life and whoever did what they did. At the end of the day, if you're going to do what you do, I don't know your story. I could care less. Do you, right? And in that fashion, just make sure you're on the other side of the street. But okay, I'm not trying to get hit by the truck that hits you. I'm trying to be over here. Watch it, trying to eat a steak and shit and kick it, you know? Get my love. I'm on. Now, Trip. Oh, boy. Let's talk about this other individual, okay? Badass Snoop. Now, I've brought him to you, man. I've conversated with this man on the phone. I brought him to you live and direct on a live phone call. I brought him to you on a live, you know, talking. I said, Sasuke. He was like, yeah, I'll hold. He's still holding. The Vato was in the Los Angeles County Jail because he had RICO upon RICO acts upon his headpiece. They were trying to get him for being a kingpin of an organization which he started. Now, everybody knows his story. It's been spoken on several times on YouTube, in books that he wrote. The Vato was even telling me, I'm talking about making a movie, so I get Rolling Stone magazine, this and that, que la chingada, orale, okay, and in that fashion. Now, I told him, I don't condone your little organization and that push that you guys got. I don't hate on you, Vatos, you Northern Riders. Do your thing, humps. But at the same time, I'm going to do me over here. You guys do you over there. And Sasuke, make sure the lines don't blur because at the end of the day, Vato, I'm not a rabbit. I'm Elmer Fudd. You feel me? Saz. Orale bugs. This is how I get down. But it ain't about me. It's about him. Okay? Why he's one of the most notorious dropouts. And he claims not to be a dropout. I've talked to the individual several times. And he stated facts to me, and he stated misappropriated facts, talking about, I know dropout, I'll tell you, I'm active in a function, right? Right? And I said, all right, well, why? Let me know. And he said, I didn't drop out of a gang. I fell out of favor, out of good standings, because I didn't want to go with the politics and the processes that they had going on. I said, orale, okay, sounds good. When I was cracking, right? Yeah, I hope. And he said, also, I decided to take all the homeboys, all the Northerners that were getting whacked, or the homeboys that were really not fucking with the business that the organization up there wanted them to be, and embraced them, showed them canalismo, and we ran and we started doing our own thing. I said, okay, this sounds good. But this is my take on it. My take is the reason why he's so notorious is this Vato has mouthpiece. Okay? One of them Vatos with mouthpiece, very animated. I wouldn't call him a character. Maybe I would on Sundays, but today I won't. He just has good game. And he gets a lot of youngsters and a lot of people to fall into his game plan. And they're manipulated. They're manipulated by his aura, what they've heard about him. I remember the first time I heard about Snoop. I thought they had a whip down here. I thought that motherfucker was like, don't. Then I seen him and I was like, wah, wah, wah. Right? Not hating on him because the Vato has hands of steel. I've seen him fight. The motherfucker can get down. At the end of the day, remember, he was active at one point in time and he was handling his business. And anyone that was on an active yarda will tell you that Snoop was with it. Okay, so now there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of people talking about weird cases and this happened and he touched this person and that person. And I'm not here to call them people liars. I respect their assumption. I respect their perspective on it. At the end of the day, I'm just telling you, the Vato doesn't strike me as a weirdo. He strikes me as a J-cat. Okay, someone who lives in his own mind, is notorious in his own mind. And the Vato thinks he's Jesus. And in that fashion, right? The Vato thinks he's the Pope. Okay, no disrespect to the Pope. I got love. But I'm just saying, this is the level he puts himself on as the leader of the pack. Okay? And he has become notorious over the years because he started his own, what you would call a dropout gang or an active gang. I can't call it like an alcoholic. If you talk to the writers, they're going to say they're active. If you talk to other people, they're going to say they're dropouts. The line is very much blurred. There's one side of the train track, the other side of the train track. They're crashing. Oh my. I just will say, on the outside looking in, yay, that these Vatos are neither or nor, right? You know, neither or. They are whatever they want to be at that particular day. Okay? Period. Anyways, with that being said, this Vato, Badass Snoop from Sacra, is the one that started them. Now, there's going to be fables and fairy tales and stories, and people say he went on the Yarda and Tracy and he knocked out 9 individuals. He declared war on the active Norteños and the NF. That's their story. We'll let them tell it. You know, he tells the same story. I've heard other people tell that story. I've also heard other stories where he was in bad standings already, so he knew he had to flight. You know, regardless of what everybody wants to believe, the Vato did take flight first. Okay, he's never been no sucker in any form or fashion. The Vato will handle his business. Okay, he's just too full of himself, and that's what makes him notorious. To see him in real life, to talk to him on the phone, to get into the inner workings of his mind, it's a trip, okay? Because the Vato doesn't even give you a chance to talk. It's okay, everybody knows I like to fucking conversate, right? Holiday, I like to be getting my knowledge. So what's headed, right? He didn't even give me the chance. I had to hang up on the Vato just to get my fucking words heard. That's just how it is. Just too full of himself, and that's what makes him notorious. To his little homeboys, his followers, his gathering, his gaggle, his brood crude, whatever you want to call him, right? He's the one. Okay, and I ain't gonna take that from him. Maybe he's earned and achieved the accolades to be calling himself the one. I can't call it like an alcoholic, not that I've ever seen. I just know he's a Vato that got a little bit of hands, man, will put you on your back, and has a good mouthpiece. That's how he became notorious. Okay, but there's a lot of stories that get told on him, as well as Boxer Enriquez. You know, hey, these Vatos are targets, they're on site, and that may be the case, and probably is 100%, just speaking on some facts. It probably is. So, hey, the Vatos defected from whatever they were from, and they decided to go a different route of life. Now, in Boxer's case, Boxer Enriquez we're talking on, this Vato decided to manipulate the system so that way he could turn it on a Vato. Hey, this is a bit chistoso over here in Indiana. He's trying to do the Chicano U-turn and get on out back to them guys. Now, he knows damn well he ain't going to be able to go back to Arte, to Artesia, and program and function as a citizen. He's going to need to move to motherfucking Alabama somewhere, you know what I mean? And become a fucking, what is that? A warthog, or wherever the fuck they got over there. Just take your ass to Alaska, vato. You know what I mean? Go ice fishing. That's where you got to go to be safe, to have a safe haven. Just get the fuck up out of here. They don't want you in Califas. I'm not trying to disrespect you, Boxer, but at the same time, vato, you know. Oh, you know. Then you have Snoop over here who's never getting out. The man just picked up 64 to 65 years. And just continues to be RICO'd. They continue to pile cases upon cases. The last time that I spoke with that individual, he was in LA County Jail. He called me to do an interview. I wasn't too intrigued or too enthused with the interview just based on he wanted feria. He wanted this. He wanted exclusive rights to this. I was like, this is YouTube, homie. You know what I mean? This is YouTube land. This ass. You know what I mean? Like Mikey says. I'm not trying to do all that. You want to give me a spiel? Give me a spiel. If not, kick rocks. Do a pushing. You know what? And I'm not just saying that because the man got 65 years and you can't touch the gun, right? If I was right there side by side, I'd tell him just like I'm saying right now, bro, I'm not all hype on your story. You know what I mean? So hey, it's a story just like my story. You're young, you get locked up, you're fucking part of the movement, you push, something happens, you're no longer part of it. That's it. End of story, game over. Bang, bang. The only difference with me and him is I'm able to fucking understand that that's what it is and I'm done. He's not. He's still running the show over there with his little organization, and more power to him. And the push is real over there on his side. And Sasuke, you know what I mean? Now over here with Boxer, he's telling the board, which he keeps getting shot down. You got to understand, the board's going to shoot you down. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. This man's been shot down. The reason why they're shooting him down and continuing to give him more time, one, for their own safety and his safety. You know, they know if this man gets out and he's seen or heard, something's going to happen to him and possibly his family, anyone that's with them. And 2, just because you turn a new leaf and you say, I'm no longer part of that organization, hey, watch out. Today, the ambiguousness of what they got going on is no longer prevalent to what I got going on, and the frivolousness of the, however he was talking, right? You know what I mean? And just these words that he was using, these big words that had the placas all, you know what I mean? Charlie. Them board members been around the block in the 6'4" plenty of times. They weren't believing that shit. Now, I'm not here to say the Vato is lying. Maybe the Vato has changed his life. Maybe he's given his life to the Lord. But maybe the Vato really is true and just wants to get out and live his life. And to each their own. You know, if he does have the weird cases like I've been told, some get fucking rot, homie. You know what I mean? We're done talking about him. Now, the Vato there, Snoop, again, another one that they've said that he has cases, he's touched people. That's neither here nor there because I don't know. I can't call it. I've never seen papeles to say it. That just came out of a Vato's mouth. That ain't even fucking too credible himself. But this is what's happening, okay, with these 2 guys. This is why they are 2 of the most notorious dropouts, period. Okay, one was part of La M. He dropped out. That's what the definition of dropout is Boxer Enriquez. There's a picture of him like this. That's him. Okay, over there with Badass Snoop, at one point in time, word was that he was an hermano. Now, I can't neither confirm that or deny it. You know, all I know him to be was a regular-ass norteño, a northerner. Nothing wrong with that, Holmes. Manpower and soldados are always the backbone of any type of organization. But this is what I knew that man as. Okay, he might have got clicked, Holmes. He might have fucking proceeded to be an hermano. Does that still make him a dropout child? Because he was never part of the big 4 and never intended to be. This Vato was always against the grain, a renegade in his own mind. He was just a D-boy. He was just trying to make some feria, right? He went in there, of course, as a norteño. He went and handled his business, but he was really never with the politics. He was never down with really that, you know? So at the end of the day, both of these Vatos, one over here, they're not even really here, but better, you just act with me. It's just role play. One Vato over here and one Vato over here, okay? Very notorious in their own rights. Both of them hitters. Okay, you know Boxer has multiple bodies. He was a killer. Still is. Just you can't say, oh, all of a sudden he forgot how to kill Charlie. The Vato was still ahead of his business. I'm sure he will. Man, if he's put in a rock in a hard place, so he's gonna chisel something out and try to make a motherfucking fur coat out of something. This Vato over here, on the other hand, I can't say that he's ever caught a body, but I could say that if he had to, he'd be willing to. Just by knowing the way he talks, the way he acts, and seeing some of the history, you know, just knowing that he's probably about that. Now, I can't say he's caught one, and I wouldn't say if he did, you know, because it's not documented. But at the end of the day, maybe he would. So I just wanted to touch on the aspects of the dropouts, because you get a lot of people that say, dropout, you're a dropout, you're a punk, you're not, you know what I mean? Charlie, homie, Charlie. Relax, have to sit back, sit down. Let the rhymes tax, maintain MCs by the doubly max. Kick back, watch out, you guys to chill. Let me educate you one time, and I've said it before. That dropout word, I pushed. When I got out of prison, when I became an hermano, when I was active, man, when I was really out there pushing with the regiment, and not necessarily hermano, because that's what not we were calling ourselves, we were soldados, but at that time, my whole focus was drop out. You know what I mean? Because that's what was ingrained and indoctrinated in my mind, to go out there and seek basura, to seek these degenerates, to seek trash, right? Not even really knowing what that definition of that word was, just knowing that this is what I was told. Anybody who stopped banging North over there, I know a fucking Vato that started banging North one day, and the next day he seen a fuck something. He was like, I'm not with it anymore. I'm cool, right? And he was able to just walk away, and he's good. He's at the parties drinking, talking about, hey, look at that deal over there. What about you? What the? You were a Sangre one day, an Oriental troop the next, aspiring to be an NF member, never made it, and you were a Norteño for one whole day. Because I knew better, huh? But that doesn't make me a dropout because yeah, I know it's all good for you. What's good for the goose ain't always good for the gander, you know? Anyways, in a menudo style, at the end of the day, however you see it, however you define it, whatever your definition is of a DO, I can't call it like an alcoholic. I'm neither here to detour you or to tell you what is and what isn't. I'm just trying to tell you at the end of the day, do your research. If it means that much to you. If not, it's just another word, and who gives a fuck anyways? If it's a cool dude, it's a cool dude. I'm just saying, Boxer Enriquez, Badass Snoop from Sakura, these dudes are two of the most notorious DOs you'll always hear about, and that's a little bit of the history into them. One's a killer, the Thriller in Manila, the chiller, and the debriefer, and the other one over here, oh, well, he says he's Jesus. Anyways, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. Hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about striving. Not dropping out, but striving for your familia. Putting some food on the table, some money in your pockets, some money in your familia's pockets, and prospering and having the propensity to prosper to another day, man. It's all about another day. It's all about the uniting of the raza. I'm fucked up today on my words. I can't speak. It's all this red I'm wearing. Got me feeling like I want to grab a 40 and right? Anyways, bang, bang, the gun, like and subscribe. If you don't like this, hit it. If you like this, gracias. Bang, bang, the gun.